And supposedly I'm live. This is my first time with this software and my first live in the new studio. Oh, Rob B, thank you. I'm glad that somebody's here. Can you see and hear me okay? If you can, shoot me a 5x5. Coffee first, then speak. Great to see you. Um, can y'all see and hear me okay? This is really daunting for me. Oh, awesome. I'm so glad that this is working. I was a little terrified. I had made the announcement on Facebook that I was going to go live and test the software. And then I was a little overwhelmed, but it was a little easier than I thought. But we'll get there. And I'm just testing this one as opposed to StreamYard to see if this is what I want to go with. Um, so glad to see everybody. New year, new studio. I also call this my nook. It's kind of my prepping catch-all. My son's new bedroom is on the other side of this, and I've got my fermentation stuff going here, my book rack, some of my plants. Um, every time I go to record a video, I have to turn the plant lights off on the poor thing, or else I look like I'm in the seventh ring of hell from all of the grow lights. So, gosh, it feels so weird to be back. Um, this is just surreal for me. I've been working on some new content, trying to get it edited. I have a really great PC here and a really great setup, but for some reason, like the only editing software I know how to use, and I don't even know how to use it that great. Hi, Scott Hummer. How are you? Is CapCut. And my kids introduced me to that because that's what they were using to edit. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. Hopefully that'll go towards the watch hours, and hopefully the next time I get over 1,000, YouTube will help me or let me stay there. I should say. I've been over 1,000 like 3 or 4 times, and every time I hit that goal, YouTube knocks me right back down. They usually knock me right back down around like just under 900, and then I've got to claw my way back. So if you can help the channel grow, let us know or let your friends know about us, share me out a little bit. That would be great. I really want to thank Mike over at Hudson Valley. He really helped me out. I was having a hell of a time. The studio's been ready for a while, but the webcam that I had wasn't working great. I had a mediocre mic, and Hudson Valley has the best of everything as far as it comes to YouTube. And he was generous enough to send me a older webcam that he used to use and a new mic. So far so good. It's working out great, and I definitely appreciate that because I was I was so disappointed in like what was coming out of the equipment that I had. So, um, how's everybody doing? I mean, any questions, comments, concerns, any certain topic you want to talk about? I know there's a million things going on right now that, I mean, we could talk about any one of them or all of them. It's crazy out there. It really is. And I'm, uh, I'm really concerned for this year. There's been so many times where we felt like the world was on a knife's edge and that like one thing just going could blow everything up, SHTF wise. And now we're dealing with even more of that. Like, how much more can we add before it's the straw that breaks the camel's back? Um, so my prepping is switching into higher gear. I'm reevaluating our garden plans for this year. Um, the bag garden idea last year was a great start, but unfortunately, hey, CUCV farmer, great to see you. The bag idea was great in theory, But what was happening was the bags weren't retaining moisture for long enough. And with my back issues and SI joint issues, sometimes I wasn't able to get up there frequently enough to water them every day. And some things made it, some things didn't. So what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to do raised beds up in that area, and then I'm going to run soaker hose up through. So anybody, if I'm like laid up, anybody, I can have them go out and turn on the hose here at the house. It'll be run up, and the soaker hoses will be in all of the raised beds. So um when are we starting, Rob? Usually we start putting things in the ground like the middle of May. Historically, we've always done either Memorial Day weekend or Mother's Day weekend, but we're able to start like a little bit sooner than that. As far as starting seedlings, I'm gonna be starting like my peppers and things probably this week. Hey Teresa, how are you? Great to see you. So far I'm liking this software. It's EV Mux, and I've I'm liking this better than StreamYard. It seems like it's a little more user friendly as far as what I'm used to. Um, Hi, Oops, how are you? So happy to see you. Um, and speaking of garden seeds, I wanted to let everybody know too, and this isn't the official launch, but I am personal friends with and have known the owner of DollarTreeSeeds.com. Um, Actually, it's not Dollar Tree Seeds. Oh my gosh, where's my mind? It's dollarseed.com. And they have seeds for $1 pack, and he is partnering with the channel. He provides my seeds for my garden and gave me a wonderful package. Actually, I can show you some of them. He gave me this awesome tote full. I can't even get it out of my full of seeds for my garden this year after what happened. He knew I lost a lot. Um, there we go. There is their mailing address, but if you go to dollarseed.com, um, check it out. Their seeds are $1. Their shipping is cheap. And I mean, they've got, oh, okay. I just got like a warning message, but anyway, they don't have like a lot of exotic stuff, but they do have all of your basics. Here's royal burgundy beans and small red beans and um, yellow bush scallop squash. I mean, you get as much as you do in a regular. Actually, my light is kind of sus, but you get as much as you do in a regular like Walmart size pack of seeds, and they're all non-GMO. Rob, if you've driven through Cortland, you've probably driven through, and if you've driven through Cortland and if you've driven through Binghamton, you've probably passed me. I am in between the two. Hey, Loretta, how are you? Good to see you. So, if you do order from dollarseed.com, shoot them a message along with your order and let them know that you heard about them from Southern Tier Prepper. I don't get a commission or anything like that, but they are really great people. Leah's a cancer survivor. Dave is now disabled, but they're keeping Dollar Seed going. And he's a Navy veteran. He actually filled in for the band at our benefit after the house was hit. There was a benefit at a local bar for us, and when the band took a break, he stepped up and he sang and played guitar for us. So great company, great people. I first got affiliated with them when I was volunteering for a community garden here, and he saw it on Facebook. He reached out to me, and he supplied all of the seeds for that garden, and like it was enough, like I mean, boxes and boxes of seeds. To help the garden get off the ground, and it's fed a lot of people. So, if you can shoot them some business, please do. This is the time of year to do it. Um, so I'll get off my, affiliate soapbox, now. And so back to the plans for what was the bag garden. Um, I'm hoping and praying that all of the bushes and the trees that I planted up there last year made it. I planted, I believe, 8 blueberry bushes and 6 hazelnut trees, and I think 6 or 8 pawpaw trees. But until things, start blooming and leafing out, I'm not going to know if they made it or not. I do know that my raspberries and blackberries from last year did not make it, and I didn't think they would. I bought them from Tractor Supply, and I have never had any luck with any of the plants and cuttings that I bought from Tractor Supply, except for on clearance. I was able to get a lemon tree that is in my living room, and I was able to get a blood orange tree and a um, I don't want to say a regular orange tree, more like a tangerine style, but they're like a small breed of oranges. And both the blood orange and the regular orange are in this pot behind me here. They had to get transplanted, and once the weather's nice enough, I'll be taking those outside. Can you all still see and hear me? It looks like the chat stopped, and I'd gotten a warning that the rest of my stuff wouldn't be recorded on the free plan. But um, if you can still see and hear me, please let me know so I know I'm not talking to myself. That would be awesome. So, okay, thank you, CUCV. That makes me feel better. I used to be very technically literate. Back in the like late 90s, early 2000s, I actually was in tech sales as my career. I was a Microsoft certified sales engineer. Um, and then I kind of switched careers. I went back, finished my degree, and kind of went into a lot of HR and operations management. And like I was able to keep up with things like QuickBooks and Office and things like that, but all of this kind of technology, like the webcasting, the YouTube stuff, the video editing, is all so foreign to me. And you might as well say I'm a boomer. I'm going to be 48 next week, and looking back at when I was at the height of being tech savvy, and I used to design websites on the side too, like old school HTML coding. And now for this stuff to feel foreign to me, it's like a real slap in the face. That's how fast technology is moving. Like I was like sort of at the height of everything back then, and now, I'm one of the old people that my kids are making fun of me. I actually got chastised by my 13-year-old today because I was showing her a meme that I had made on Chat GPT, and she gave me a disgusted look, and she's like, "Why are you using Chat GPT to make memes?" I was like, "Because I can just tell it what to do and upload my logo and what I want, and it does it." And I got a big lecture because she's very artistic about how AI is ruining the artistic community and, all this stuff. And I said, "But it's what I know how to use." And she was like, "If you want a meme made, Mom, just come tell me." And it's like, okay, so you probably won't be seeing any more AI memes out of me as long as she holds to her word and she's willing to do it. But it's oh, thanks, CUCV. Yeah, it's a week from today actually. Hopefully we don't die. There's today and one more Wednesday. So, but yeah, it's daunting, it's intimidating, but I'm trying to get the hang of it. I have filmed some more content, but the whole editing process is just killing me. If anybody uses anything besides CapCut that's a little more old people friendly, let me know, because for some reason, like all the other software I run on my PC is fine. This is not an old PC. It's pretty decent. I've got the big 24-inch touchscreen monitor, all that stuff. But for some reason, CapCut keeps locking up on my phone. Or not my phone, my PC. So I'd like to get away from that if I can. But I need something that's a little more intuitive. And I'm not exactly to the point where I can or want to use AI for my video editing. Um, I'd rather, cut and clip a little old school with some help, if that makes any sense. Um, Speaking of AI, give me a second. Mm. Did I just spill it on myself? I don't think I did. But speaking of AI, my husband and I have been watching a lot of podcasts um, with some of the founders of AI and the minds behind it. And it is one of our top concerns for our children's future and ours. Um, Everybody needs to be preparing for job loss due to AI. Um, it's really scary. It's coming fast. Um, and there's really no way to escape it. Even my doctor's offices now, some of them, not all of them, but they're using like an AI virtual assistant when they answer the phone, and it's not like your usual like press 1 if you want this, press 2 if you want this. No, this is like it's answering the phone saying, "Hi, this is Alice, the AI receptionist. How can I help you today?" And they verify your name and date of birth, and they pull up your chart, and they, like, if you're asking for a prescription refill, they'll verify the ones that are in your chart. And like it's really crazy. And his my husband's doctor's office is using AI to do their charting. They ask you in the beginning, they're like, "Is it okay if I use AI to do your charting?" And he was curious, so he said yes. And they just push a button, put their phone down, and that bot, you know, charts everything. And so any job where somebody is like at a desk or taking calls, those are going to be the first to go, and they're already going and being cut back. um, anything um, anything I want to say any office work is pretty much going to be a thing of the past. And even um, they say trades are the safest, um, but if you look at the innovations being made in the trades, um, in Dubai, they're using drywall robots to install and finish their drywall. And for my husband, he's a drywall contractor, has been for 30 years. Like, that's his trade. And if companies over here or the government over here starts affording those things and bringing them over, the trades are in a lot of trouble too. And that's why it's so important for us to be as self sufficient as possible. I truly believe that the only true way to preparedness is to be self sustaining. Um, Not necessarily growing everything you need on your own land, but having a self sustaining community of some sort within very close proximity. Um, we've got these little gnats that are blooming because of the warm up that we have here. Like, almost all of our snow is gone, so if you see me going like this, it's because there's like a little gnat flying around and driving me crazy. And of course they're attracted to this area because of the plants and whatnot. So um yeah. And oops, to your point, electricity and water not going together. In one of the podcasts, they asked a guy, they're one of these founders of AI, and they asked him, like, what's your suggestion for job security? And he said, train to be a plumber, because that will be the last trade to go to AI. Yeah, Rob, I don't know if they can do that yet, and I'm hoping not, because like my husband does amazing work. Like, he does all phases of hanging and finishing, and he's well known for his quality. But if you're in like the upstate New York area anyway, and you want to see some true artistry, the textures and the things that he can do with mud are just freaking amazing. He has done these beautiful things and multi-million dollar mansions, like for their trim and like all these design textures around light fixtures. And um he truly is an artist, and he takes a lot of pride in his work. So hopefully that's not gone during our time. But and I don't know how well hairstyling would be, but the powers that be want us all with the bowl cuts and shaved heads anyway. So it's really I mean, they have like nail printing bots now, where you can like choose a design, put your fingernails in this machine, and it basically like stamps, sculpts, and affixes your nails, no problem. um Hey, Reb Coyote, how are you? Um, See, do you do drywall for a living? Because if you do, you might know my husband on Facebook, because he's pretty active in all the drywall communities. If you're a drywaller or in those communities, send me a message with your Facebook name or real name, and I'll send you his, because that's what he does, and he's like good buddies with people all over the country with that. Laser hair cutters are great. I don't want to know how you know that. Oops. Or do I? That sounds like a pretty interesting story. Um, yeah, the trades will be the last things to be automated. But even then, it's hard to say. This is advancing so fast. And one of the things that, like, I really am not for bigger government. But one of the things that I wish they would do is to put in that digital bill of rights, like Micah HVPS was talking about, or at least put the brakes on some of this AI, or you know, put some protections into place for people. One of the things I do like is, I guess, Trump is creating a um, oh, you're in the Hudson Valley, Rob. He will travel. Um, it might be nice to have the house to myself for a couple days, but work's actually picking up for him right now. He was actually off for a couple months. Everything was just kind of stagnant, which it usually is between Thanksgiving and February, but things are now picking up. And he's got his son working with him, so they're doing chugging along pretty good. But where was I? Somebody help me out here. This menopause brain is driving me nuts. But I got sidelined with the idea of my husband maybe going out of town for work for a little bit. Oh, I know, government. So the one thing I am happy about is that Trump either has issued or is going to issue an order about data centers are going to have to provide their own power. So they're not going to be able to just, come and tap into our grid, jack up our prices, steal our energy. That they are going to have um, to provide their own power. So that is good in so many ways, because they're not going to be putting the strain on an already strained and outdated grid that we're struggling with now, and they are that's going to slow down the construction of these data centers. Having to build in your own power sources. I think that's a great, and it's going to create some more jobs, mostly electricians, but more trade jobs. Having to build and having to maintain that stuff. Um, so let me just catch up on the comments a minute. Um, yeah, oops. That's a big thing. That's always been a big problem. And there's also the issue of not just illegals, especially here in New York, but also out of state, um, like the Lumpy Indians out of the Carolinas. Like, they're famous for this. They're like known as like basically the drywalling tribe. And they have their companies out of the Carolinas, and basically what they do is they subcontract under New York companies, but they can underbid us because the going rates down there are so much cheaper. The comp insurance and liability and all that stuff is so much cheaper down there, and they don't have to provide like all of the extras that New York makes us pay for and provide. So they would come up here, and their guys would be like, yeah, they're giving us $8 or $9 an hour coming up here, and we're like, what? you know like our minimum wage at that time, and now it's even higher. Our minimum wage was 15 an hour at that point. And so for these out of state companies to come in, be able to underbid us, and then they take that money home, and New York doesn't benefit from it. um I just got to check this real quick. Okay, nothing that concerns me too much. So we've also, there was a lot of Hondurans and Guatemalans that were working for Southern companies and kind of doing the same thing. And because these companies were from out of state, they weren't subject to the same responsibilities that a company from here would have. They should be, and technically, I think there's things that they're supposed to do, but they got away with it. And now we're not seeing that so much. Hey, OVP, thanks for stopping in. Great to see you. So, we're kind of glad for that, because that really was, I mean, and this was also a couple of years ago. My husband was like full throttle, like, I think at one point he had 22 employees, um, huge jobs, taking on a lot of financial responsibility. And at one point it just got to be like, okay, we need to cut back, because he was stressed out. I was stressed out. There was more drama than was worth it. And it's really great that he did scale back, because not only are, unions trying to push out the little guys anyway and doing what they can to squash us. So if we take on smaller jobs, they're ones that the unions don't want anyway. And their mob tactics kind of avoid us. But also New York State, in their infinite wisdom, just passed another law. Well, it just went into effect. It was passed last year, but now any employer with 9 employees or more has to have an employer provided retirement plan. So, well, to the employees, that sounds great, but when you're a small employer, that means more regulations you have to keep up on, more financial contributions you have to make, more administrative time that you have to spend doing this, or pay an outside company to do it. And it's not worth it. So Mr. STP is 51. He's still got a good amount of time that before he can retire, but my retirement doesn't sound so bad. Um, if he can just, keep picking up these smaller things, or subbing out to other companies with him and his son, that's the way to go. He can basically choose his hours, choose his projects, and um, we'll go from there. Like, luckily, our mortgage has been paid off for a couple of years, and we thought about taking out, a mortgage on this place, because we still have not received any information, any money from the insurance company for the farmers whose tractor hit us. But so there's still a lot of stuff that needs to be done. We need grading, we need decks, we need walkways, we need driveway work. We're going to need to replace all of the windows because of the damage that happened with moving the trailer. Well, not a trailer; it's a modular, but moving the pieces, there was damages, and the moving company isn't taking responsibility, and they make you sign that waiver. So there's a lot of things that need to be done. So we considered taking out a loan, but it's like, what? Our lawyer is on it. Hopefully within a year or two, hopefully something materializes, and that money can go back into the house. And if if push comes to shove, we're also looking at maybe West Virginia or Kentucky for retirement. You know, our oldest daughter wants to get the hell out of New York State, and we can't blame her. And she wants to move down south. She likes Georgia and she likes Arizona. Um, I'm hoping not Arizona because that's too far west. We would definitely stay on the East Coast so we could get to family if we had to. But you know, if we were in Kentucky or West Virginia and she's in Georgia, you know, that's not too bad. So, you know, if anybody has any good suggestions for areas in Kentucky or West Virginia, by all means, let us know. Hopefully, far enough away from a nuclear power plant and far enough away from a military base and far enough away from a city that that you know we could maybe start over there in our retirement. Because I mean, when you think about it, with me being disabled and home, I'm retired anyway. But you know, and it's daunting to think about starting over at our ages too. But at the same time, this state is it's pushing people out more and more. I was hopeful that Elise Stefanik could have turned it around. Um, Now I'm not so sure about what's going to happen. And now I love the idea that they want to build more nuclear power um, in New York State. I think that's a great idea. But um, I also don't like the fact that one of the proposed sites is here in Broome County. Um, Broome County is like, yes, it would provide great jobs, but we don't have the amount of water that it takes. We have the Shenango and Susquehanna rivers, and that's really it. We don't have a great big lake. Like when I was growing up, I grew up part time in Oswego County, New York, like right up near Lake Ontario. And up there, when I was growing up, they had 9 Mile 1, 9 Mile 2, and the Fitzpatrick Power Plant all right in a row. And we weren't really worried about it, you know, because we knew people that worked there and it was safe, and that was great. But every once in a while they'd pull something weird out of the lake near the power plant. um you know, my brother-in-law at the time, he was an avid fisherman and he would not fish anywhere near it. um am I frozen? Because I'm frozen here. Can you guys? Okay, I was frozen for a little bit, but it looks like I'm back up. But um yeah, OVP, the Carolinas are nice, but we have our reasons for not going there. We love the Myrtle Beach area. Like Myrtle Beach Bike Week is our favorite, but we have our reasons for not wanting to go to the Carolinas, and they're becoming more and more purple as well, and they've become a hotbed of places. Mountains in West Virginia, I'm okay with that, you know, but the the problem you deal with whenever you get into the rural areas are you know, the meth heads, and we have a lot of that here. Luckily we have some very good dogs, and people pretty much know not to mess with our road. We get a couple of out of towners once in a while drifting up and down, but we've got a fantastic neighborhood watch. And you know, we don't have too many security concerns, and the couple times that we have had community security concerns, um, it's been taken care of well and quickly. So I'm not too worried about that type of thing. But the more remote we could be would be better. As long as we're within 45 minutes of a hospital and a Walmart, I'm good. Um, so I'm like so happy that this has lasted as long as it has and that this is working. I'm really encouraged to see some familiar faces, and you know, glad that everybody's, you know, doing pretty well. If I can get the videos that I took edited, they will be coming out soon. Keep an eye out on some of my videos coming up, because if they're ones that I'm just talking in, or like, you know, it could be any of them. I'll usually have like a little trivia question in there, or a, guess what kind of question. And, there won't be huge prizes, but you'll get a little something from me, whether it's STP stickers or rechargeable light bulb, or something like that. It won't be in every video, but keep an eye out for those, because I'm a giver. That's my love language. I like to give things away and do that. And I appreciate all of you so much for supporting me. Um, it's been a rough couple years with everything that happened, and now that we're finally getting this settled in the house, um, I'm excited for that. But I also feel like worldwide, 2026 is going to be the hardest year that we've seen yet. And I don't want to say I'm fearful, because I'm a Christian. I put it in God's hands. I don't want to let fear motivate me. But the Bible does tell us to prep. And it tells us to take care of our family and provide for our family and to look out for the community. So I feel like any knowledge or advice or encouragement that I can share is helping to fulfill that duty. My preparedness here is looking out for my family and my local community, but you guys are my community too. So if there is anything that I can, help steer you in the right direction, find an answer for, you know, please reach out. Either shoot me a comment. I do read them all. Or send me an email at southerntierprepper@gmail.com. And, I'm here for you guys. You guys have all been here for me, and I'm here for you too. Um, So with that, I guess I will, finish my coffee, sign off for the day, try to figure out this video editing. OVP, if you can let me know what you use for editing your videos, that would be really helpful, because CapCut is not my friend. So, thanks guys for coming. Thanks for participating. Um, I'm so glad and so thankful to be here. So don't forget, keep an eye out for those videos coming up. Keep an eye out for my lives, and do your research and prep on. Cheers.